There's a good case to be made for a lot of different characters being the strongest Avenger. Now, that's a high bar with characters like the Hulk or the Scarlet Witch on board. And yeah, the upper limit of that power set is pretty loosely defined as well. Like, it basically comes down to whatever the writer wants, right? And I guess if you're a good enough comic writer, that's any character at all. But there's at least one character I can think of with a very specifically defined power set that makes them theoretically as powerful as a handful of other characters combined, including at least one of the Fantastic Four, maybe two, and a few Omega-level mutants. I'm talking about the named Monica Rambeau. This week we're talking Spectrum, Photon, and yes, Captain Marvel, and how she got done dirty and underpowered by the MCU. I'm Dan Umpton, and this is the Doomcast. Okay, so first off, do me a favor, hit subscribe and the bell. I make about one of these videos a week. They are all great, so please don't miss even one. Thanks in advance. Monica Rambeau debuted in a frankly legendary Spider-Man run by Roger Stern and John Romita Jr. in Amazing Spider-Man Annual 16. In that, Spider-Man is at Grand Central Station. He's waiting for Harry and Liz, and then he sees a very hot black woman because his spider sense alerted him to her presence. Wondering why his spider sense alerted him, he follows her, which is not creepy at all, as she enters a bad part of downtown where he sees her disarm two would-be muggers with her powers. When he goes to confront her, she reacts the same way, knocks him out, and then flies off in a beam of light, and then recollects, back in time, about how she got her powers in an accident with a device that drew power from another dimension that was built by a South American dictator, the device, not the dimension, that she conned her way onto, the device once again, by boarding it while wearing a bikini. And did I mention that John Romita Jr. modeled her after Pam Grier, if that's all not really weird already? Okay, so maybe it's not the most strongly feminist story, but it did establish a new black woman as Captain Marvel and immediately set her up as an Avenger, and it established her a power set unique to her alone. And frankly, it's still unmatched. Because of the extra-dimensional nature of the energy that she's infused with, she can transform herself, project, absorb, and manipulate any energy on the electromagnetic spectrum. That's pretty much everything. If the insane implication of that power set doesn't already absolutely floor you, let me explain. Monica is essentially pure energy, while her body is ostensibly matter. It just follows that her body is also pure energy expressed as matter, and that she can convert that at will to anything from UV to X-rays, visible light, infrared, gamma radiation, etc. So she's essentially comprised entirely of photons that she can adjust the energy level of at will. She's able, of course, to fly at light speed. She can become intangible, invisible, all of that stuff that you would expect somebody with light powers like that to do, and that's cool. Yeah, but she can also fire blasts of energy from her hands or wherever if she wanted to. She could become an explosion, but any kind of electromagnetic energy, any kind, that means that she can fire those X-rays, gamma rays, laser light, really whatever. She transforms her body into light. She can travel through phone lines or fiber optic at will. She did that in the Amazing Spider-Man Annual 16 right away. She could just decide to give somebody cancer. She could decide to cure cancer. That's really not even half of it though, because if she's able to absorb energy also, any kind of energy, Monica can redirect and absorb virtually anything, making her indestructible and immortal since energy can't be created or destroyed. So she doesn't age. Theoretically, with power like that, if tachyons exist, she could absorb and manipulate them as well, travel faster than light then, and then time travel or exist in a superpositional state of energy at either all times simultaneously or nowhere at all. Is anybody else able to make themselves not exist? All right, Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch. Yeah, but all right, scientifically speaking, I didn't think so. Magneto can control magnetism, but that's the end of it. Monica could do that as well. If she could control energy and matter, she could control how an electrical field creates a magnetic field. Shit, she could become technically the magnetism itself if she wants to. This is like if Iceman could control the thermal energy and the state of any liquid matter whatsoever, not just water. He could become liquid nitrogen or molten lava or some shit. Not that he needs to, Bobby's no slouch, he's already Omega level, but like, for example, Electro? Who cares about Electro? Monica could just turn Max Dillon off. She could interrupt a Ulysses' claw as a sonic vibration just by vibrating at an alternate frequency. Since electromagnetic energy is functionally vibrational movement, which is also a translation of heat or a lack thereof, theoretically she could use that power, not dissimilar to Iceman or Johnny Storm, and absorb heat entirely out of an object, and then redirect it at a heat level that's unthinkable outside of a nuclear reaction. But it doesn't stop there, because if she's transforming her body from regular matter, converting it into any kind of energy, and then converting it back into whatever kind of matter, there's no reason she shouldn't be able to turn that into any kind of matter at all. She should be able to turn into a rock, a horse, a unicorn, a puddle of ice cream. It shouldn't matter at all. She can basically create matter at will out of the energy that comprises her, or any energy that she absorbs, which more or less confirms that, at least in that Marvel universe, energy is effectively an expression of matter, and she's able to manipulate it. She should be able to create basically anything, like a Green Lantern, but a level beyond that. About the only things that have proven to get the best of Monica are the Dark Force dimension and other energy manipulators or absorbers. The first appearance of Dark Force and Cloak saw her trapped in an eternal expanse of Dark Force energy. And in case you need the street cred, Monica was not only an Avenger, she eventually did become the leader of the Avengers during Roger Stern's run. Monica was also a founding member of the now classic Next Wave and absolutely bonkers team lineup, as well as the Ultimates by Al Ewing, Kenny Rocafort, and Travel Foreman. Probably the most recent writer to use her fullest potential so far in comics. The Ultimates saw her working with Blue Marvel, Black Panther, America Chavez, and Captain Marvel on excursions that pushed the limits of reality, including basically inverting Galactus's purpose from devourer of all life to life bringer and creator of new energy and new worlds. Pretty crazy stuff. With the MCU, however, the Marvels, and previously WandaVision, severely and almost immediately underpowered her in tremendous ways. Obviously, it did so with other characters like the Hulk and even Thor and even the other Captain Marvel in ways. You can't have much of a story in a movie if a character can and obviously should have one shot at a villain. But still, they hardly utilized the practical potential of her powers and then trapped her on the other side of a portal with another universe with Beast and Binary, a portal that she should have been able to open herself and close herself. Will she end up back in the regular MCU? Undoubtedly, if it continues. But as far as the comics, we can only hope that she keeps appearing in the best teen books and gets used to her top potential as a character and with her power set. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you again next week. Peace.